We're here with Jeremiah Estrada. Jeremiah, 13 strikeouts, brother. How did that happen? How did that go?
That went amazing. It's a huge blessing. I give all my thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and to my pitching staff that I've been working with as hard as I could even think of during as soon as spring training started. I worked hard for that moment, and I'm happy that's something that I deserved.
Were you aware that 1, 2, 3, up to 13? I mean,
I wasn't aware until someone told me that I hit 10 in a row.
And then I'm going to strike this other guy, make it 13, 11, and 12, 13?
Yeah, I think my mentality going into that game specifically was to get the save because Suarez was, he already had pitched. So I knew my responsibility first was to get that save and get the guys to win, but then the strikeouts, that happens, and it was an exciting moment. Sometimes you got to try to soak it in and you kind of just hold in that pressure that you could have, but I was able to maintain it.
So you're aware that this guy, after you do, like let's say 10 or 11, then there's some kind of pressure that builds up.
No, not really. It wasn't like, I need to get this guy for 13. It wasn't like that at all.
So your mind was just going in, I'm going to do what
I can do. Do what I can do. I want to know that I know my stuff is good. I know my confidence level is up. I knew I had those guys, and I felt comfortable with what I needed to throw, and I knew I could get the job done.
Now, speaking about pitching, are you in favor of all the information analytics that comes in before the game, or do you just want to say, look, man, I know what I'm going to do, I know what my vision is, and I got it?
No. The stuff that the information, the analytics, the breakdown fundamentals that we're given about the other hitters, about other teams, just the stuff that the staff gives us as for the pitching, information has been remarkable, and I believe that's a huge success in my career as well. So, the stuff that Ruben and Ben Fritz and all the staff that we have that gives us on, to help us perform out here, it's been helping as well.
All right, so, and I'm just curious. So, at any given moment, I'm sure that the analytics were probably wrong, and you said you had a gut. Hey, if I would have done it my way, it probably would have worked. I always thought that you go, from pitch to pitch, not set motion on what you were supposed to do.
Well, yeah. When you go out to pitch, you're not trying to, okay, what did I read? This and that. You really don't have the time to think as well. You got to just trust your stuff and go out there, I think when it comes to levels like this and when it comes to the situations I have been put in now, you take from what you have learned from, what you have seen, the stuff, the information you get, and then you take it and break it down into, okay, when you're going to play, know your situations. You're going to go in here and you're going to know your first pitch that you got to do, or sometimes you just like, all right, let's see what the catcher thinks. And you like it? I like it. I'm going to have confidence and initiative to throw it.
Who controls the game when you're on the mound? You want to call your own pitch, or you let the catcher?
I trust my catchers 100%.
Wow.
All the time.
Now, talk to me about you growing up and getting into baseball. Who got you into baseball?
My dad. Dad's number one sport was baseball, but he had me play many other sports, that you could mention, but he just wanted me to be an athlete, but his primary sport was baseball.
And then when did you realize that, you could make a living playing ball? I mean, when did you take this little serious?
I think the serious part was, I don't know, man. I think it was, my dad put me in so many sports where I was enjoyable to have fun no matter what it was. It was fun, and it felt fun to be able to play sports, and as good as I was growing up, it made it more fun. But of course, when it got to high school, when it came to primary positions that, and like that, and they were just, hey, man, you have the stuff for a pitcher. You could also play another position. Because in high school, I played 2 positions all my life until I got drafted. I was shortstop.
Oh, okay.
Shortstop, second base, infield, outfield, wherever.
And you could hit?
And I could hit. Yeah, I have, there's actually videos of my senior year. I hit a home run, a game-winning home run in the 7th inning to take us to the semifinals. And in the semifinal game, I hit another game-winning home run to send us to the championship.
So you miss hitting because
they're missing out on another Ohtani. A Mexican Ohtani right here. Switching here too.
So when you got into the major leagues and stuff like that, I'm sure that your father, man, was probably the happiest Mexican in the world.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was a good moment. We know what what I have been through. We know what we have both been through. The sacrifices we've made. The challenges that we had growing up, and just the hard work we put in. The late nights going to the batting cages, the late nights having discussions, the late nights watching videos of Pedro Martinez's changeup, and all that
That's
other
what he
stuff.
like. I thought he'd probably go with Fernando.
Fernando
Venezuela,
Venezuela,
yeah.
I'm not a lefty.
No, but you know his style of pitching and stuff like that.
No, of course. He knew all those stuff about baseball. But of course, I think more of like the guy that I was mainly like, I forgot the word for it, but more side-by-side pictures that they would compare me to was Pedro Martinez.
Wow. Now, I got to ask you this stuff.
I smell churros.
Oh, yeah, right? Now, your father and stuff like that, were there any time that, because you know when I said that a lot of fathers, they put a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. Not to say on you, on their kids to play ball and takes the fun out of it. That never happened to you where you felt that I got to perform because my father's watching.
Well, yeah, of course you got to perform when your dad's watching. He's the biggest critic. He's the only guy. I could get yelled at by anybody else. I could get yelled at a fan. It really don't matter. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But if my dad says something, that's when I'm like, damn, Dad, you know? Like, okay. Because my dad was the dad that if I made an error, he's the guy that's standing up right there with his arms out.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yelling. He don't care. He wants to let people. He wants to let. I think his preparations, how he was as a father, got me prepared for this.
Now, Jeremiah, getting drafted, did you think that you were going to get drafted? Because, and I'm asking you this because a lot of the guys that get drafted, 6 feet, pitches and stuff like that, did the height ever have a problem?
I think it did. You know, one thing that my dad and I knew is that we didn't have height. You know, us Mexicans or us Hispanics, you know, we stopped growing like at 14, you know, but yeah, you know, it came to some parts where like height did matter, you know, and I still even have a picture where when I was with the Cubs organization, I took a picture with 4 other pitchers. And I kid you not, it goes from like 6'8" to 6'7" to 6'9" to 6'5", and then to me, 6 foot.
Wow.
And it's just a huge difference.
Obviously, you had to probably work a little harder than the average guy just to prove your point that you belong.
Oh yeah, you got to show them that you're a bulldog. You know, I think that's the point. Kind of like Marcus Stroman. You know, he's short, but he wasn't the velocity guy. He was the crafty guy, and he was able to get the job done and do what he can.
Jeremiah, listen, thanks a lot for your time and courtesy, brother.
Thank you.
And do your thing, man. Don't
Thank
change.
You. Thank you, sir.
Yo soy Joanny y yo quiero que ustedes se suscriban a la esquina de las 5 esquinas.